Salam alaikum, my brothers and sisters. Imagine a man who, at just 18 years old, cures a king and becomes the royal physician. A genius who writes over 450 works, revolutionizes medicine for the next 600 years, and influences Western thought to this very day. This man is Abu Ali al-Hussein Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna. Born in 980 in what is now Uzbekistan, he is considered one of the greatest minds in human history. In this video, we'll discover how a child prodigy from Central Persia became the Prince of Physicians and laid the foundations of modern medicine. Ibn Sina was born in 980 in Afshana, near Bukhara, in present-day Uzbekistan. His father, Abdullah, was a high-ranking official in the Samanid Empire. His family belonged to the intellectual elite of the time. From the age of 5, Ibn Sina showed extraordinary intellectual abilities. By 10, he had completely mastered the Quran and Arabic literature. But what truly distinguished him was his insatiable thirst for knowledge. At 13, he studied Aristotelian logic and mathematics. At 14, he turned to medicine. And here's the most impressive part. At 16, he was already treating patients and training other physicians. His teachers were quickly surpassed by his genius. Ibn Sina became self-taught and devoured every medical and philosophical text available in Bukhara. In 997, at only 18 years old, Ibn Sina experienced the event that would change his life. The Samanid king Nuh ibn Mansur fell gravely ill. All the court physicians failed to cure him. In desperation, they called upon the young prodigy. Ibn Sina examined the king and made a precise diagnosis. Thanks to his treatment, the sovereign recovered quickly. Grateful, the king opened the doors of his personal library to him, one of the richest in the Muslim world. For Ibn Sina, this was an invaluable treasure. He could finally access the rarest texts on medicine, philosophy, and science. He spent entire nights studying, memorizing entire works. According to his own memoirs, he sometimes slept only a few hours per night. So passionate was he about his research. Ibn Sina's most famous work is Al-Qanun fi al-Tib, the Canon of Medicine. This medical encyclopedia of over 1 million words completely revolutionized medical practice. The canon is organized into 5 books. The first deals with general principles of medicine, the second with simple drugs, the third with diseases specific to each organ, the fourth with general diseases, the fifth with compound medicines. But what makes the canon revolutionary are its innovations. First innovation. Ibn Sina establishes the distinction between medicine and pharmacy. He creates the foundations of modern pharmacology. Second innovation. He precisely describes diseases like tuberculosis, meningitis, and even certain mental illnesses. He understands that some diseases are contagious. Third innovation. He develops clinical examination methods that are still used today: palpation, auscultation, urine observation. Ibn Sina wasn't just a physician, he was also one of the greatest philosophers of his era. He attempted to reconcile Aristotelian philosophy with Islamic theology. His major philosophical work, the Book of Healing, Kitab al-Shifa, covers all domains of knowledge: logic, physics, mathematics, metaphysics. It's a true compendium of human knowledge. One of his most important contributions to philosophy is his theory of the soul. For Ibn Sina, the human soul is immortal and independent of the body. This idea would profoundly influence Western thought. His philosophical texts were translated into Latin and studied in all European universities for centuries. Thomas Aquinas, Duns Scotus, and many others drew inspiration from his works. Ibn Sina's life was far from peaceful. The political turmoil of his era forced him to travel constantly. He served different princes and emirs throughout Persia and present-day Iran. He was alternately physician, political advisor, vizier, and sometimes even prisoner. In Hamadan, he became vizier to Prince Shams al-Dawla, but his political enemies had him imprisoned. Even in prison, Ibn Sina continued to write. He composed philosophical and medical treatises. His thirst for knowledge never stopped. He escaped disguised as a Sufi and continued his wanderings. Despite this tumultuous life, he produced a gigantic body of work. over 450 works on every imaginable subject. In the 12th century, Ibn Sina's works were translated into Latin by Gerard of Cremona. The Canon became the reference manual in all European universities. For over 600 years until the 17th century, the Canon was the medical textbook in Europe. At the Faculty of Medicine in Montpellier, it was still being taught in the 19th century. His contributions to modern medicine are numerous. He was the first to describe sexually transmitted diseases. He identified tuberculosis as contagious. He developed innovative surgical techniques. He established the foundations of medical psychology. In philosophy, his influence was equally important. He transmitted Aristotelian thought to the Western world and contributed to the birth of medieval scholasticism. Even today, universities, hospitals, and research institutes bear his name around the world. Ibn Sina died in 1037 in Hamadan, in present-day Iran, at the age of 57. He left behind a monumental body of work that shaped medicine and philosophy for centuries. His story reminds us that knowledge has no borders. This Persian genius nourished European thought, creating a bridge between East and West. The next time you visit a doctor, think of Ibn Sina. The clinical examination methods he developed 1,000 years ago are still used today. Ibn Sina teaches us that with curiosity, passion, and hard work, we can push the boundaries of human knowledge. If you enjoyed this story, don't hesitate to like the video and subscribe to discover other geniuses of history.